My favorite childhood memory happened on the most ordinary day. I was sitting in a tree, watching birds. Then, all of a sudden, the branch cracked beneath me, and I fell. But my dad caught me before I hit the ground. Whoa, you're like a real superhero!
Of course, I'm your dad.
So you'll always save me?
Always.
Even if a giant boulder falls on me?
Even if the moon itself comes crashing down.
You know what? I believed him. And then Mom called us over. A minute later, we were all sitting together on the porch of our big house. Mom, tell me again about the time you got insanely lucky. When I was really young, I won the lottery. It was a huge jackpot. I bought this house, and that's how it became our family's home. Wow! I still get the chills every time!
Good things always happen to good people.
Back then, I thought that's just how life worked. Good people were happy, and bad people got what they deserved. But the older you get, the more you realize life isn't that simple. Sometimes the truth weighs more than the moon itself. Hi, I'm Rose. Hope you're into stories that keep you guessing. And if you are, hit subscribe and let's get started. I was about to spend the summer working as a camp counselor. It would earn me extra admission points and a great recommendation letter for college. So, my plan was pretty simple. Stay on the camp director's good side, get through the summer without any drama, then head back home to my parents and to my boyfriend Sean. I dropped my stuff off in the counselor's cabin and headed to meet the camp director, Mrs. Thompson. We chatted for a bit, and then the rest of the counselors joined us.
All right, the moment the kids get here, you'll collect their phones.
Camp is a place to unplug, so no social media and screens. After that, Mrs. Thompson paired us up. My partner was a girl named Julia. I didn't even get the chance to introduce myself, let alone get a good look at her, because a second later, a bus pulled up outside. A swarm of kids poured out, and within seconds, the whole camp was buzzing. We explained the rules and then started collecting everyone's phones. That's when things started going sideways. Hi, I'm Julia.
I'm Dirk. So?
I need you to hand over your phone.
Yeah, and I need you to get lost.
What's your attitude? You're going to get yourself in trouble.
Nope, you're the one who's going to be in trouble.
I caught part of their argument out of the corner of my eye and hurried over. Julia, just leave Dirk alone.
Ha, told you.
What's that supposed to mean? She looked at me, completely stunned. I couldn't stop staring at her either. Her hairstyle was different, but everything else, it was like looking into a mirror. I was sure Julia was thinking the exact same thing, but neither of us said it out loud. A few seconds later, I finally snapped out of it. Dirk is Mrs. Thompson's nephew. That doesn't mean he should get special treatment. I just don't want you to get on the camp director's bad side. I get it. You choose what's easy over what's right. Pretty cowardly if you ask me. She stormed off, leaving me fuming. I stood there for a second, then headed back to the counselor's cabin. Deep down, I knew Julia was right. Dirk was a spoiled little brat, but I didn't want to make Mrs. Thompson mad. After all, my recommendation letter for college was in her hands. I still hadn't calmed down when Julia walked into the cabin. I rolled my eyes. Awesome. So Miss Moral High Ground isn't just my partner, she's my roommate too. Trust me, I'm not thrilled either. I'd rather share a cabin with an opossum. Oh, so you're used to that, huh? Shut up. Stop talking to me. Gladly. We decided to pretend the other person didn't exist. But every time we were around other people, they'd ask us the exact same question.
Hey, are you two sisters or something? No.
The strangest part was, I couldn't even explain why Julia got on my nerves so much. She was like a mirror, reflecting everything about myself I didn't want to see. Almost a week passed. We were still giving each other the silent treatment. Then one day, I spotted Dirk sitting way up in a tree, making fun of Julia.
Get down here now! Why don't you climb up and get me? Or are you scared of heights? This is your last warning! Nope, I'm staying right here!
Dirk stuck out his tongue, but then his phone slipped out of his pocket. Julia caught it and suddenly realized that she had all the leverage.
Then I'll smash your phone!
I started running before I even realized it.
Stop! That spoiled little brat has no idea how dangerous this is! That branch could snap at any second!
Julia sounded so genuinely shaken that even I felt it. She was absolutely right. So I took Dirk's phone from her, held it up, and gave it a little shake.
I'm counting to 3. If you're not down by then, your phone's toast. You don't have the guts. Wanna bet?
He scowled, but he climbed down anyway.
I'm telling my aunt, you're both dead.
And trust me, those weren't empty threats. 10 minutes later, Julia and I were standing in Mrs. Thompson's office.
Have you two forgotten your place? Who gave you permission to yell at my nephew?
He was sitting on a flimsy branch at the top of a huge tree. If Dirk had fallen, he'd have been seriously hurt. We were just trying to keep him safe. Kids need boundaries. You can't pretend everything they do is okay just because they're family.
Excuse me? How dare you? I want both of you out of my camp by tomorrow morning. You're fired!
We walked back to the cabin without saying a word and started packing. I tried so hard to hold it together, but eventually I broke down. I'm sorry, Rose. This is all my fault. Stop. We both did the right thing. Then why are you crying? Because now I probably won't get into the same college as my boyfriend Sean. He's an athlete, so he got accepted right away. I needed those extra admission points and that recommendation letter. There are plenty of great colleges out there. I know, but I'm scared our relationship won't survive if we're apart. Then maybe it's not a relationship worth fighting for. You just said out loud the thing I was too scared to even admit to myself. I took a deep breath and decided to change the subject. We need to address the elephant in the room. You mean how much we look alike? I figured it was just a coincidence. You know, those celebrity lookalikes? No, it's weirder than that. Look, we even have the same birthmark behind our ear. Oh my gosh, you're right! After that, we started comparing everything else. We both turned out to be allergic to peanuts. We were both obsessed with tomato juice. Then Julia showed me a scar on her leg. Don't tell me you've got a scar like this too. No, how'd you get it? I was 7. I was sitting in a tree watching birds. Then I fell. It was a really bad fracture. I had a metal rod in my leg and spent 6 months recovering. I'm so sorry. Suddenly, it all made sense. No wonder she panicked when she saw Dirk up in that tree. Then we started talking about our families. I told her a little about mine. Julia told me she lived alone with her mom, and they were always struggling to make ends meet. That's when I realized nothing had ever come easy for Julia. She'd had to fight for everything she had. Maybe that's why she was always so brutally honest. We talked until sunrise. In a single night, Julia became closer to me than the friends I'd known for years. The next morning, we climbed onto the bus, exhausted and running on almost no sleep. After a while, Julia got up from her seat. This is my stop. Good luck, Rose. Thanks. You too. I watched her walk down the aisle, and suddenly it hit me. If I let her leave now, we'd probably never find out why we looked so much alike. Wait, Julia! Maybe you could come over? My parents would freak out when they say I have a twin. This is crazy, but I had a feeling you'd say that. Whoa, this is your house? Yep, pretty nice, huh? Nice? It's incredible! On the way, I told her how my mom had won the lottery before I was born. She bought this house, a car, and even started her own business. Wow, stories like that don't happen very often. My dad used to say, good things happen to good people. We headed straight for the kitchen. I kept telling Julia that Mom would be excited to meet her and would probably make her a famous homemade lemonade. But the moment Mom saw Julia, she dropped her favorite mug and it shattered into pieces.
Kim sent you, didn't she?
Mom, what's going on? And who's Kim? Kim's my mom. Wait, you know her?
She's my younger sister.
Of course, I was completely stunned to find out that I had an aunt. But at least something finally made sense. Julia, did you hear that? That means we're cousins. But my excitement disappeared almost instantly. Something still didn't add up. Wait a second. Cousins aren't identical. The same birthmark, the same peanut allergy, and then I remembered one tiny detail I'd completely forgotten. Dad's allergic to peanuts too! Mom suddenly buried her face in her hands and started crying. Then the truth came pouring out, ugly and brutal.
My sister and I fell in love with the same man. Patrick was dating Kim first. She got pregnant with Julia. Then I won the lottery. Patrick looked at both of our futures and chose the sister with the house, the business, and the money. Not long after, we had you, Rose.
The ground practically shifted beneath my feet. Beside me, Julia quietly broke down in tears. So that's why Mom always told me we didn't have any relatives. Because the two people she loved the most, her own sister and the man she loved, betrayed her. The front door suddenly slammed shut. Dad walked into the kitchen and took one look at the room. The second he saw Julia, his face went completely cold.
So, you finally showed up. How much do I have to pay to make this disappear?
I couldn't believe those words had come out of my dad's mouth. The same man who once promised he'd protect me, even if the moon came crashing down. In that moment, the image I had of him my entire life shattered. I don't want anything. I'll just leave. Julia burst out of the house in tears. I turned to Dad, glaring at him in disbelief. How did you manage to be such a great dad and such a terrible person? I didn't wait for an answer. I ran after Julia. Julia, wait! Please, just talk to me! My whole life, I wanted to know who my dad was. I used to draw pictures of him in my notebooks. And all this time, he was living happily with his new family. So don't tell me your family are good people, Rose. Some people built their happiness on someone else's misery. She shot me one last look, full of pain, and then took off. I ran after her, but within minutes she disappeared. I didn't know where she lived. I didn't have her number. I only knew I had to find her. So I went to the one person I thought would help, Sean. I found him and told him everything. I used to think my parents were perfect. Now I don't even know if I can go back home. I don't want to be a part of a family that got everything by ruining someone else's life.
Rose, I honestly don't get why you're making such a big deal out of this.
You're kidding, right?
No, your dad made the choice that made the most sense. That's how life works. Some people win, some people lose. Your mom won, Julia's mom lost. That's it. Move on.
I can't believe you actually think that. You know what? I was an idiot for working so hard just so we can end up at the same college.
Babe, don't start.
It's over, Sean. Because if someone can excuse betrayal, they'll betray someone too the moment it benefits them. I walked away without looking back. My only regret was that I hadn't done it sooner. Before long, the sun had gone down, but I still wouldn't give up. My entire plan was just running around town yelling Julia's name and hoping somehow she'd hear me. Then, just as it got completely dark, my phone rang. Dad.
Rose, come home now!
Not until I find Julia.
You've known her for a week. Why are you so determined to help her?
Remember when I fell out of that tree and you caught me? Julia fell too, but nobody caught her. She grew up without a father. Instead, she got a scar she'll have for the rest of her life. I don't want to become someone who abandons their own family. I don't want to become you. I slipped my phone into my pocket and looked around. Somehow, I'd ended up at the train station. It was completely deserted. A few flickering lights barely lit the platform. Then I saw Julia. She must have missed that last bus and decided to crash here for the night. Julia, I finally found you! Rose, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I'm nothing like my parents. Maybe not, but you're still one of them. Neither of us realized how close she'd gotten to the edge. Julia took one more step back, and suddenly she was gone. Julia, can you hear me? Julia! Oh no, she's out cold! Then I heard a train horn. I looked up and saw the headlights getting closer. There wasn't a single person around. I didn't even think. I jumped. I landed on the tracks and shook Julia as hard as I could. A few seconds later, her eyes fluttered open. Rose, what's going on? Get up, come on! She felt the rails start to rumble and instantly snapped back to reality. I gave her a boost and she scrambled back onto the platform. Hurry, give me your hand! A second later, I was up too. The train roared past so close it shook the entire platform. We just stood there, trying to catch our breath. Neither of us said a word. A couple of minutes later, I finally broke the silence. Listen, my dad owes you years of child support. I don't know what it'll take, but I'll make sure you get every single penny. Rose, I never wanted his money. I wanted a dad. Someone who'd show up when I needed him. Someone who'd have my back. Tonight that was you. You saved me. No, we saved each other. We both smiled, then wrapped each other in the tightest hug. So, what's next? I've already seen your place. Now it's your turn to see mine. It was almost 2 a.m. by the time we got to Julia's house. It was tiny, but it felt warm and lived in. She introduced me to her mom. Aunt Kim looked so much like my mom that it was almost unsettling. The biggest difference was her eyes. They carried years of sadness, but she didn't throw me out. She didn't even seem angry after finding out who my parents were. You can stay here as long as you want. The three of us had some tea and were getting ready for bed when someone knocked at the door. Somehow, none of us seemed surprised to see my parents standing outside, and judging by their faces, they weren't either.
Knew you'd be here. Rose, I'll be waiting in the car. Let's go.
Then he turned around and walked away. He didn't greet Aunt Kim, didn't even acknowledge she was standing there. Mom stayed behind. With trembling hands, she pulled an old lottery ticket out of her wallet.
Kim, I stole everything from you. Even this ticket. The money's gone now, but I'll sell my car. I'll pay you back as much as I can, I swear.
I didn't say a word. I just waited for Aunt Kim to answer. She looked at the ticket, then slowly shook her head.
You took my winning ticket. You took the man I loved. You took the future I thought I'd have. But I don't want anything from you anymore. One day you'll lose something you can never replace. When that day comes, we'll be even.
She already did.
Rose? What are you saying?
You and Dad already lost the daughter who used to think you could do no wrong. Now please, just leave. With that, I closed the door, leaving my mom standing on the porch in tears. I decided to stay with Julia and Aunt Kim until the end of summer. After that, I'd leave for a college I picked, one that was actually my choice. So, what do you think? Did I make this decision too fast? Or are there some things people do that you just can't forgive? Things that mean they don't get to call themselves your family anymore?